Hello, good morning students, 8th standard. Okay, now I am going to start a topic in grammar in this video, and the first lesson unit that is given in first 8th standard is parts of speech. I will not divide the board because I am going to use it in a very short way. See, 8th standard parts of speech. Now in 8th standard you shall know first thing what is the correct definition of parts of speech. See, it is speech what word has been used? Speech. Okay, parts, you can understand, parts of speech, not sentences. Parts of, we are not talking of words, it's not about words, it is about speech. Speech means the things which are spoken, the sentences, the words, those are spoken, used in the sentences. Now, if I mean check it whether it is going on properly. So, if I say part of speech means what is delivered. Once I spoken something, right? Once I spoken something, that is delivered. Now, a word, for example, building, it's a word, but what part of speech? He'll say sir, it's a verb. Some will say sir, it's a noun. Some will say it's a gerund. It is not decided at all till it is not used in a speech. So if I say I am building a house, building here it's a verb. It's a very tall building. Building here is a noun. Right, but if I use in some other way also, building house is very difficult or very costly. What it is here? Adjective. So it depends how you use it in the speech, and that decides what part of speech it is. Means there are types. Okay, there are types. In that you can fit then. Okay, this is a noun, this is verb, this is adjective. Then only you can decide it. Before that, there is no need to decide. So here we mean this. We have to learn this. It's not by word, you will have to learn this. Now part of speech you know that everyone, noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and the last one is interjection. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 part of speech are there. Conjunction. Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction and interjection. These are the parts of speech. Now here in 8th standard you need to deal with little details of it. Noun. What are the types of noun? 5 major types of nouns are considered. 1. Proper noun. You know the noun very well, right? Second, common noun. Third, what is given in the book? Collective noun. Fourth, material noun. And fifth one is abstract noun. Okay, fifth one is abstract noun. In some book like university grammar book, the material noun and abstract noun are common nouns, part of common noun. So there are only 3 types given. 1, proper noun, common noun and collective noun. These 2 parts are given in the common noun, but for you, for better understanding at the level of 8th standard, it is like this. Proper nouns, I am going to explain. You know it all. Up to 7th standard you have studied all this. So I am going to explain it at a very simplest level, and I know that you understood everything, you have studied everything, and this is first, second, third chapters are only revisions of your previous knowledge. So proper nouns, the nouns which are used, or the words, better to say any word that is used to address some person, place, thing or etc. is a proper noun. For example, Ram, Shyam, Sita, Geeta, Ganga, Godavari, Kaveri, Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar, Lal, Red Fort, Bombay, Delhi, India, Australia, Pakistan. These are proper noun. Mars, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, these are proper nouns. These are proper nouns. They are called as proper noun. Common nouns, when a category of a thing, places, people is addressed by a name, by a certain word, that is called as common noun. Boy, girl, teacher, student, doctor, these are common nouns. Collective nouns. Collective nouns, when a collection of a category, when a collection of a category, it may include several category also, but it should be a collection, not a singular. When a plural things are addressed by some word, that word is called as collective noun. For example, army. Army. Now in army there are major, general, subedar, havaldar. So these are the post. All these are called as army. Okay, army is a collective noun. Bunch. Bunch of flower. Any kind of flower is called as bunch, bouquet. Okay, bunch of paper. Any kind of paper, red paper, white paper, if they are collected, bunch of paper. So it's not a simple thing. It's not one category. It's a collection of things. It may be different. It may be one category, whatever it is, but it is addressed with one word, that is called as collective noun. Then material noun. Material, as I said, in university grammar book, it is considered to be the part of common noun. For example, soil, oil, coil, stone. So these are material nouns. But how they are common noun? Any kind of stone is called as stone. Whether it is on earth, whether it is on moon, whether it is on Jupiter, if it is the same property, stone, they are called as stone. Soil, the soil on the earth, the soil in India, the soil in Pakistan, the soil in Australia, the soil in America, they are called as soil. So common, it is common. Every soil is called common. Grey soil, red soil, fertile soil. Okay, so soil, these are the types of soil. Material noun, iron, gold, leather, wool, everything that is material. So they are there included in common noun, but you are here going to learn it as a material noun. Abstract noun. Now abstract noun, the ideas, okay, ideas or name of, or when a word is used to address something, which is not mortal, or which is not seen, or which is not something that you touch. Okay, so that is called as abstract noun. For example, just imagine. Okay, from imagine, the word came imagination. Imagination is a noun. Oh, what is my imagination? I cannot show you. Idea, I got an idea. What is my idea? I can talk about, right? We talk about my idea, your idea, his idea, her idea. So it's a common noun, but it is taken as abstract noun. So idea, action, height, honesty, loyalty, royalty. Okay, these are the abstract noun. Abstract nouns are derived sometimes from adjectives like brave, bravery, broad, breadth, wide, width, strong, strength, young, youth, poor, poverty. Sometimes they are derived from actions also, move, movement, act, actions, verbs. Abstract nouns are derived. Arrive, arrival, agree, agreement, behave, behavior, choice, choose, choice. So imagine, imagination. Some abstract nouns come from common nouns also. Boy, boyhood, child, childhood. Okay, so thief, theft, man, manhood, friend, friendship. These are the abstract nouns. These are the abstract nouns. There is a simple exercise on the abstract noun. Exercise number 1, exercise number 2, exercise number 3. Now underline the nouns in the sentence and say that what kind of nouns they are, whether it is common, proper, collective, material, abstract. Very simple, you can do it yourself. Rewrite this sentence by changing the nouns into their plural forms. Singular and plural you have learned. Now nouns are singular and plural. They too have genders also, God, goddess. Okay, gender wise also nouns are separate, so that you in 8th standard you can do it very well. Do it. Second exercise. Third, correct the sentence. One I'll do. He ripped his trouser. He ripped his trouser. Now trouser cannot be singular, Caesar cannot be singular, ship cannot be plural. Okay, so trouser, trousers, Caesar, Caesars, ships, ship. Okay, in this way. Your hairs are black. Your hairs are black. Now your hairs is black. It is considered as singular. Hairs is considered as, though it looks plural in the form, but it is considered as singular. In this way you have to do. 2 I have solved. So exercise number 1, 2, 3 on page number 5 you will solve it. Now pronoun. What are the pronoun? First, personal pronouns. You know what are the personal pronoun? First person, second person and third person. These are the personal pronouns. I and we are the personal pronouns. You is the second person pronoun and third person pronoun is he, she, it. Okay, what is the plural form of I, we? Plural form of you, you. Plural form of he, she, it, they. Okay, so this is how the personal pronouns are there. In the personal pronouns there are reflective pronouns also. Reflexive pronouns also. Myself, yourself, himself, herself. Okay, then there, then possessive pronoun my, your, his, her, their, its. These are possessive pronouns of personal pronouns. So personal pronouns are fixed. These many are the personal pronouns. There are no other personal pronouns, but there are some other types. We which can vary. For example, demonstratives. Demonstratives are second type. Means a word which is used as a pronoun, that is called to demonstrate, that is called as demonstrative pronoun. Any word that is used as a pronoun in the place of noun, that is a pronoun. Any word. Okay. This is a boy. This is demonstrative pronoun. There are four demonstratives: this, that, these, those. Okay. Singular, singular, plural. This and that are singular, these and those are plural pronoun. This and these are for the nearer things, and that and those are for the further things away, which are not closer, that is used. Relative pronouns: when some words are used in the place of noun to show the relation with some noun, they are called as relative pronoun. I know the boy who is standing there. Boy. Who is standing there? Who. The who is for what? That boy. So, in the place of noun, it is working. For example, I can say, I know the boy is tall. Okay. Now, when I mix this, what I do? I know the boy who is tall. Now, this who refers to boy in the place of the boy. In the place of the noun, it came, so it is a pronoun, and it is relating the information, so it is called as a relative pronoun. Who. Okay. Who, which, whom and whose, these are four. These are the pronouns, relative pronouns. They are called as relative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns: who, whose, which, what. Okay, these are the interrogative pronoun. What is an interrogative pronoun? When in a question, a word which replaces a noun, that is called as interrogative pronoun. Who is that boy? He is Ram. That who is used for Ram. Which place you want to go? Bombay. Which is for Bombay. What is his name? Rahul. What is replacing for? Rahul is his name. Rahul is his name. So, these are interrogative pronouns. They are called as interrogative. Generally, they are used in the interrogations. Indefinite pronouns. Now, this is very interesting. Indefinite pronouns. What happens? We sometimes, for teasing our friends or somebody, we use a pronoun, a word, so that he shall not know that I am teasing him. That is called indefinite pronoun, which refers to somebody shall come and tell me. Somebody is an indefinite pronoun. Somebody please come and wipe the board. Teachers are using like this. Somebody give me a book. Teachers are using. Somebody means anybody from you. So, that somebody, nobody, few, many, one, none. None. Many joined army. Many have joined army. Many people. their names we don't know, or indefinite. Okay, one shall know his limits, I mean for anyone. So that one stands for some name. So indefinite pronoun, many, nobody, somebody, etc. So any word which indefinitely talks about indefinite noun, that is a indefinite pronoun. Distributive pronoun, these are only three, these are only four. Here there are given only three. Okay. What are given? Each, either, neither. The fourth one is every or everyone. Everyone. These are the distributives. Each one shall know. Each boy means anyone, everyone in this class. So this is distributive pronoun. Reciprocal pronoun. Now reciprocal pronoun are like reflexive pronouns. Myself, himself, he shall do it himself, right? Reciprocal pronouns are like this: each, other and one another. How it is used? For example, I will tell that each other and one another. Two friends were fighting, they hurted each other, means this boy hurted him and he hurted that boy. So each other, both are hurted. Reciprocal, each other is for both of them. Okay, reciprocal, it stands for this also, this stands for reciprocal, means at a time when it refers to two people, that is two nouns, it is reciprocal, each other. Okay, those which are mentioned in the sentence, all those nouns which are mentioned in this sentence. Ram and Shyam hurted each other. Ram and Shyam, Ram hurted Shyam, Shyam hurted Ram. Reciprocal. Okay, so this is reciprocal pronoun. Now here there are passive pronouns and passive adjective. One different subject is given. See, the book is mine is a pronoun. This is my book is an adjective. Now see, possessive pronouns, mine is a possessive pronoun. Yours, you write a letter. In the end you write yours, Y-O-U-R, possessive. I am yours only, to show that. So that possessive pronouns are used. Now on the possessive pronoun there are four exercises. Fill in the blank, write the correct pronoun, complete each sentence with a pronoun ending with self and selves. Okay, fill in the blanks with suitable relative or interrogative pronoun. Very easy. Try your hand on it. Don't go directly in the answers. Try it yourself. If you can't find it, please send me the problem and I'll send you the answers or explanation in the next video. Okay, next part is adjective. Very good and important part. Okay, so adjectives are of many types. Here there are given 10. Okay. There are many types. Now see, a proper adjective. When a proper noun is used as an adjective, proper noun is turned into adjective. India, Indian. India, Indian culture. Italy, Italian dish. China, Chinese food. So these are proper adjectives. Descriptive. Sometimes the adjectives are descriptive, giving the information about quality, capacity, capability, ability. They are called as descriptive adjectives. Brave, Okay, he is brave, he is strong, he is tall, fat, short. So this is capability, capacity, ability. So they are called as descriptive. Quantitative, quantity, quantitative, the name only suggests quantitative, quantitative, the name only suggests, it talks about quantity. All shall come with me. All children, but how many? All. So one child, one only. So these are like quantitative, they are talking about the quantity: much, little, some, any, all, whole, enough. Okay, the examples are given in the book. Understand the meaning. What is quantitative? Quantitative, it shows a quantity. Okay, it is not certain, but it shows quantity. That is quantitative adjective. Numeral, in numeral there are three subtopic parts. Numeral adjectives, there are subparts of numeral adjectives. What? Definite, indefinite and distributive. One man, how many? One. Adjective, telling about the noun, more information, that is adjective. One man. So how many men are there? One man. Okay, one. So one is what? Telling about the numeral value of man. Two boys. How many boys? Two. So that is definite. That is what? Definite. Indefinite, for definite. Okay, so in definite also cardinal and ordinal are there. One man is the cardinal, first man, second man, third man, ordinal when it talks about ordinal. Okay, indefinite, all, some, enough, we don't know how many. Okay, so sometimes quantitative and indefinite. Same words are used, but it talks about different thing. Now quantity, it doesn't talk about number, scale, it talks about scale, but indefinite talks about number. Many students, okay, many student, all students, few students. So it talks about indefinite number, means that can be countable. When it is used with the countable, these quantity words, okay, quantitative adjectives, when they are used with the countable nouns, at that time they are indefinite numeral adjective. Indefinite numeral adjective. Okay, distributive, each, every, either and neither. So these are distributive adjectives. These are distributive adjective. Demonstrative. Now in adjectives, how many demonstratives are there? These, that, these, those. In adjectives also, these, that, these, those. These are used as demonstrative. But in adjectives, there are two other words, 2, 3, maybe more, but 2, 3 typically used as adjective. For example, such an idiot fellow. Like Ram is like Sham. Like Ram is like Sham. Like Ram, I want to play. Like this book. Okay, so like is an demonstrative, this one. Okay, such and same. This is not given in your book, not given. Okay, there are only two given, such and same. Like is not given. Okay, but like is also many times used as an adjective purpose. So these are the demonstrative adjectives. Interrogative adjectives: what, which, whose. when the adjectives are used, what pen, which shirt you are going to wear, what train you are boarding, what city you live, which city you live. So it came with the noun. To qualify the noun, interrogative words are used, so they are called as interrogative adjectives. What, which and whose, these are three. What, the list is given in the book. You have to read it. After explanation also, I am explaining, but you will have to read it, then only it is possible you understand the whole lesson. Otherwise don't think that you can directly mug it up or you can understand. Possessive adjectives. See, we are talking what I said in the starting parts of speech. Possessive pronouns are also used as, they are also called as possessive adjective, because when they are used in the sentence, they become my pen is red. Now it is a pen. With the pen, this word is used. It is pronoun, personal pronoun. But this tells about possession of the pen. Whose pen it is? My pen. So it is adjective. It is giving more information about the noun pen. So it is called as possessive adjective. My, your, his, her, their, these are the possessive adjectives. Emphasizing adjectives. Now this one is very interesting. Emphasizing adjective. You will find it in the most probably in University Grammar Press book, the whole explanation. It is not given over here, but I will explain. Emphasizing. Okay, emphasizing adjective. There are two. Own and very. So what we do? We use sometimes these two words to emphasize it. This is my own house. Isn't it okay to say this is my house? But we say this is my own house. So this own is used to emphasize more. My means my house. Own means what then? Own house and my house, what is the difference? But own is used to emphasize, to give more pressure, to give more meaning. So they are called as emphasizing adjective. Exclamatory. What a big house. Exclamatory. Here only what is given. How is also exclamatory adjective. How big elephant. How? We are always using it. Now what is the meaning of how here? There is no meaning. What a big house. But it is elephant. It is big, and how gives more exclamation to the adjective. Adjective को ज़्यादा strong करता है. How? What a big house. A big is big house. If you say it's a big house, yes, it is a big house. सिर्फ ऐसा कहने से वो small हो जाएगा? It will not. But what a big house. It gives exclamatory adjective. Exclamation to the adjective that it is really very big. Okay? Or for the one who saw it, for him it is a big one. So it is exclamatory adjective. Articles are also used as adjective, or they are called as adjective. How? In the phrases, the boy, what is the meaning? A boy. What is the meaning? It's a boy. It's a common noun. But the boy, that means I know him. It is definite. I am talking about that boy, not the other boy. A boy means any boy. So this is definite article is definite thing, and indefinite article talks about indefinity of a noun, So it is a definite article adjective, they are called as articles. Okay, now there one exercise only given, 2 exercises only are given, you can solve it well. Now verb, this one is very important. There are only 3 parts in the verbs, and at very primary level it is given. After verb also there is only one exercise that you can do, but let me tell you what is a verb. What important parts of verbs are there? Transitive, intransitive and auxiliary. Auxiliary are fixed, am, is, are, was, were, these are the auxiliary verbs, forms of to be and forms of to have, these are called as the auxiliary verb. And some verbs are updated verbs, updated auxiliary verbs, so they are called as modal auxiliary. So auxiliary is primary auxiliary verb and modal auxiliary verb. Now transitive verb, a verb which has an object that is transitive verb. I eat mango. What I eat? Mango. Transitive verb. Okay, that is transitive verb. Intransitive verb, the sun shines, the wind blows, the birds fly, the girl danced. Okay, so these are intransitive verb. So where there is no object, that is called as intransitive verb. Where there is an object, that is called as transitive verb. It depends on the action verb, what type of action it is, it depends on it. Okay, so by that it is decided whether it is a transitive verb or intransitive, whether it carries object or not. In transitive verb also there are two things. One with one object transitive, two object transitive. For example, Ram eats mango is one object transitive. What I am eating? Only mango. Is there any other object? His father gave him 10 rupees note. What his father gave? 10 rupees note. Whom he gave? Him. So there are two objects. So in transitive verbs there are one object or two objects possible. In transitive verb there are no object. Auxiliary verb, there are two types of auxiliary verb, primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. Am, is, are, was, were, to, have, has, had, these are primary, do, does, did. These are primary auxiliary verb. And modal auxiliary verb, may, might, can, could, shall, should, would, these are ought to, used to, have to, need to, these are modal auxiliary verb. What it means? See, modal auxiliary verb do not only help the verb, but they also change the perspective or the meaning, quality of the verb. For example, I play cricket. I play cricket means what? I play cricket. The speaker want to say that I play cricket. Okay, maybe today, tomorrow, every day I play cricket. But when I say I must play cricket, means I have some aim to do that. I must play cricket for good health. I can play cricket, ability. I would play cricket, possibility. Possibility. I need to play cricket, inherit. Need to, I have to inherit, I have to do it. I have to play cricket, compulsion. Okay, compulsion. So modal auxiliaries, what they are doing, they are adding, they are making a different model of the verb, of the action. So they are called as modal auxiliary verb. Now only one exercise is there that you can do. Adverb. Adverbs are very important. Adjectives and adverbs. if you master this, adjectives and adverb, if you master this, you can stretch a sentence, stretch a sentence, stretch a sentence, stretch a sentence, and make it a book, big book, one book only, one sentence. For example, I'll say that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was very good at using adverbs, clauses and phrases in adverbs and adjectives. If you go on reading his books, for example, Discovery of India, there are sentences, they start on first page, end on second page, one sentence. First page it is starting, the whole page, and on the second page it ends, one sentence. How is it possible? With good use of adverb. If you master adverbs, you can make the sentences very bigger, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. Why? I'll tell you. Adverbs are of several types. For example, time, place, degree, number, manner, denial, reason, adverb, interrogative adverb, relative adverb, conditional adverb, reasonable adverb. So these are the types of adverb. 9 are given here. Okay. Even the if adverbs, conditional adverbs are there. Okay. Here it is not given, but there are conditional adverbs also possible. Okay. Relative adverbs are also there. Here the relative adverbs are not given. So there are many other types, but 9 types of adverbs are given. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word or group of words. An adverb is a word or group of words which gives more information about the action. About the action, any kind of information, that is an adverb. I play cricket in the morning, adverb of time. I play cricket on the ground, adverb of place. I play cricket for my health, reason. I play cricket alone. I play cricket alone with nobody else, adverb of denial. I play cricket every day, repetition, adverb of repetition is also there. Repetition, I play cricket every day, adverb of repetition. I play cricket honestly, adverb of manner. I play cricket very well, adverb of manner. So I play cricket, I play cricket a little, adverb of degree. Okay. So in this way, adverbs are of type 1. Adverb of time, the word or group of word that tells about the time of an action, that is adverb of time. Adverb of place, a word or group of word that tells about the action of the place of the action, that is adverb of place. Adverb of degree, the word or group of word that tells about the degree, level. Level. He kicked him very hard. कैसे मारा उसको? Very hard. So degree, action हुआ slow. He kicked him slowly. He kicked him softly. Degree. So that is adverb of degree. Adverb of number. I play cricket once, twice, thrice. Okay. I play cricket. Adverb of repetition every day. No, that is not given. Okay. Part of no. Adverb of manner. I eat mango very fast. I drink juice very slowly. I drink tea very quickly. Manner, how it is done. When it is said, when the action is said, how it is done. That is adverb of manner. Adverb of denial or adverb of affirmation. For example, there are many given. Surely, certainly, yes, no, not, by all means, not at all. Any word can be used as an adverb. Means the word, any word that is used to show about, talk about the action, that is an adverb. Okay, that is the simplest thing. So don't stick to the words that these are the adverbs only. No, don't stick to the words. I surely can do this. I am damn sure to do it. Damn is not given here, but that can be used to talk about denial or affirmation. Adverb of reason. I eat chocolate because I like it. Adverb. No, that is adverb clause. So reason of action, I do that action, why? Because I like it. Reason, therefore, hence, because, consequently, these are the words used. Okay, as is also used. I eat chocolate as I like it. Okay, so that also tells a reason. Adverb, interrogative adverb. I play where I want. I run when I want. So these words, when these interrogative words, which, who, what, when, how, if they are used as, they are called as interrogative adverbs. Okay, so they are interrogative adverbs. Relative adverbs, where, why, and when. I play where I like. So relative, they tells about the relation of the two verbs or two places, about of a thing we related with the verb, that is relative adverb. Okay, now preposition, only two parts are remaining. Preposition, what is a preposition? The noun only suggests preposition. Preposition, when it comes before or pre-decided position of a noun or pronoun. A word or group of word when used to decide the position of a noun or pronoun, that is called as preposition. इतना simple definition है, उसको कहते हैं preposition. किसी भी noun, any pronoun, उसका position क्या है? The book is on the table. Book is on the table. Where it is? On the table. Table है, on it, not below. Below the table, under the table, above the table, beside the table, in front of the table, behind the table, right? In the table, in the drawer. So like this the pronouns are used. Now in pronouns there are three major types. There are many pronouns used. There are three major types: the simple pronoun, the compound pronoun, and the complex pronoun. Okay, these are the three types. यहाँ पे क्या दिया है? Simple pronoun, compound pronoun, and phrase prepositions. Okay, complex pronoun we call it, or phrase preposition. Simple pronoun are like at, by, for, them वगैरह. They are called as simple pronoun. When words are used to show directly the position of a noun or pronoun, they are called as simple pronoun. Simple preposition. Compound prepositions. Now compound prepositions are formed with a prefix or preposition. With a prefix and preposition. For example, don't take it, this definition, the simplest definition of what it says, formed by a prefix plus preposition. Don't take it. Simplest, when two words are joined to make a preposition, that is called as compound. That is called as compound preposition. When two words are joined to make a preposition, that is called as compound preposition. For example, A is an article, round. These are two words, but if I call it around, around means all sides, right? All sides. Surround is a different word, it's not a preposition. Around is a preposition. From around, from round came surround. Now A is joined. A is joined. It's a prefix, but let us call it sometimes, because sometimes what happens, in is a preposition, to is a preposition. These are two preposition. What is the definition in the book? a prefix and a preposition. No, two preposition also can make a compound pronoun. Into becomes into. In means inside, inner part. To means towards, to the, and into means by making action to go inside, that is called into. Is if something is in action and enters inside, that is, that time we use into. The ball went into the ball went into the house, right? The cat jumped into the house. Jumping action, with the action it went inside, so into. The cat jumped in the house, ऐसा नहीं बोलते, into the house. So inside it went by jumping, by doing some action. So into is a mixture of two preposition. When there are two words come together and make one preposition, that is called as compound preposition. So these are the two types: simple preposition, compound preposition, and the third one, that is here it is called as phrase preposition. We can say that complex preposition. Complex preposition can be anything. 2 words, 3 words, making a phrase. Making a phrase means a group of words to act like a preposition. In front of, in preposition, front of. These 3 preposition, when they come together, in front of becomes one preposition. So okay, that is called as complex or phrase preposition. In place of, along with, for the sake of, take it for. So these are the prepositions. These are the preposition, complex. 2-3 words come together in a group, in a phrase, and that makes a preposition, that is called as phrase preposition. Now prepositions are defined by their use also. For prepositions, sometimes they talk about time, sometimes they talk about place, and sometimes they talk about movement. Okay, like into, it talks about movement. In talk about place, and on, he came on time, talks about time. So these are the prepositions about the time, position, movement. There are 3 uses of preposition. The last one. Why the last one? Because interjections are only words with no meanings. For making some sound they are used. So last one is the 7th one, conjunction. Conjunction, very simple. Any word or group of word that comes together to join, any word or group of word that joins 2 words or group of words or sentences, they are called as conjunction. Means any joining activity by any number of word for any number of words or group or sentences, that is called conjunction. Means, for example, and, we, and, but. So there are many, there are types of conjunction, but the types of conjunctions are given here? No, not given. So what they join, that is given. Noun with noun, Ram and Sham. Verb with verb, play and eat. I play and eat every day. Okay. Adjective and adjective, smart and strong. He is smart and strong. 2 adjectives are joined. Adverb with adverb, in the morning, on the ground. Okay, in the morning and on the ground. So in the morning and in the evening, I drink milk in the morning and in the evening. 2 adverbs are joined. Sentences, 2 sentences, I play cricket and I eat mango. 2 sentences are joined. 2 phrases, in the corner and on the table. 2 phrases are joined. Okay, so in this way the conjunctions are working. In this way the conjunctions are used. Now there are conjunctions 2 types given: coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunction. What is coordinating conjunction and subordinating conjunction? See, when the words which join the phrases and clauses or sentence, they are called coordinating conjunction, and when they join subordinate clause to the principal clause, they are called the subordinate conjunction. For example, I know a boy whom you gave money. I know the boy whom you gave money. Now the boy, whom, right? It is joining. It is whom is joining, but it is joining to the subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. So whom is a subordinating conjunction. So after, because, if, that, through, although, till, before, unless, as, when, where, while, whose, whom, the many words there are. So that they can be used as subordinating conjunction. You only remember this. Coordinating conjunctions, you connecting the main clauses or main phrases or the words or the nouns or the pronouns or the adverbs. Okay, and coordinating conjunctions are joining the coordinating clause, subordinating clause.